Now here's the thing, if you don't pay attention to the felt sense impacts of words, of phrases, of autosuggestions, you can have an autosuggestion that logically should be empowering, but it's not. Hey guys, how's it going? This is James Tripp with a video for James Tripp Chaos Wave. We are looking at using felt sense to generate powerful and personalized autosuggestions. Now, the clip that you are about to see is from Self-Hypnosis and Personal Alchemy. As you probably know, this is available at the moment from Hypnosis Without Trance. Launch week discount 42%. I'm going to mention that right now until Sunday. But we're talking about felt sense. Now, you may or may not be familiar with felt sense. The idea originates with a guy called Eugene Gendlin, and it's something that I've incorporated into my self-change method and have made great use of across the years. This clip that we're about to see follows an exercise in the live training where I took everybody in the room through some contrasting ideas and concepts and had them tune into the felt sense, what it was that in their body felt different about these different ways of rendering up reality. This is an essential thing if you want to create powerful autosuggestions that really hit the spot for you, rather than just working on putting them together logically or based on somebody's suggestion from a book. You want something that's going to work for you, and you need to be able to tune into the information source that comes from your body that allows you to do this. So we pick up the clip here just after this exercise, and we're exploring some of the why of felt sense and some of the why it's so important when creating autosuggestions. So let's watch the clip. I'll see you again on the other side. So here's the thing, there's a slight difference. This is what we're looking for, slight differences. We're not looking for huge, this is why I didn't want to do someone you love, someone you hate. Oh yeah, that's an easy win. Right, I want to do things here that seem innocuous, that the difference is so slight that if you weren't really paying attention, you wouldn't notice it. It's like a sommelier, wine expert. If I drink, I don't mind a glass of red wine. I used to quite like a glass of red wine. By no means am I an expert on red wine. So somebody, the waiter comes on, would you like to taste the wine? Well, go ahead. Yeah, I could drink that. Yeah. You know, I don't have the palate to be able to say, oh yes, this has an oaky undertones and surreal wafting of elderberries or whatever. I can't do that stuff because I don't have the palate. Now, people who train, they train their palate. I know somebody that trained their palate to be able to taste the differences in wines and all of this. That person's experience of wine is entirely different from mine. They can pick up subtleties and nuances that I just don't pick up because I haven't trained myself to do so. Felt sense is a lot like that. There is a whole rich world of differences that are occurring all the time. And it's about tuning into them, because most of the time we have a blunt palate to it all. But if you think about it, this is a metaphor. It's like every word resonates differently. Every thought resonates differently. And even though we might not be conscious of it, it doesn't mean that that difference isn't there. There's something that Lisa Feldman Barrett mentioned in her book, How Emotions Are Made, or How We Make Emotions. I never remember the title, it's one of those two. But she points out that every single concept that a human being uses, and this was extremely interesting to me, I only read this recently, every single concept that a human being uses contains information about body states. Every concept, according to Lisa Feldman Barrett. And I was like, bam, because that makes so much sense of the whole felt sense thing. The reason why is because if you think about it on a basic level, we are human beings, we are here, and we act in the world. Everything we do, everything we think is about acting in the world. Everything we do, everything we think is about acting in the world. Every concept is about making predictions about reality and what might be likely to happen next. So we are predictive machines, and we are geared to act in the world. And the only way we act in the world is through our bodies. So every concept shows up in body state, and every prediction contains information within it about how we body budget, where we send energy in our body, to which systems we fire up, which systems we ramp down. That's why two different people can see a dog, but if they conceptualize dog differently, one person will go on high alert, the other person will go, oh. It's an action, it's a response set, internal and external. Every concept, according to Lisa Feldman Barrett, contains information about body states, as well as predictive information about actions. And this is why every word feels different. But most people never notice. Now, in NLP, they'll say, oh, you know, you've got a bias there towards kinesthetic. What about people? Maybe stuff will flash up through the visual channel, all of this kind of thing. But the fact of the matter is these body state concepts are tied in with our interoceptive system. This is demonstrable through neuroscience studies now, that we process through an interoceptive system. We have information coming in through our kind of vagus nerve, from all of our organs, telling us stuff about body state all the time. And our conceptual system co-opts and interacts with that on every level. So if you take this on this level from what Lisa Feldman Barrett says, there are good evolutionary biological reasons, neurological reasons why every concept is a full body concept. Every single one. Running, dancing, my career is on track. I just can't seem to beat this problem. Whatever, every word is a creation. Every description is a creation because it readies our body in one way or another. Every phrasing, every frame. Now, when you know this, and when you can start tuning into this, you can start to see how the auto-suggestion you're using in everyday life is impacting and affecting you. Because unlike my mum likes to say, oh, you know what I mean, it's just words. Every single word is influencing. Every single word in a full body way. If you can't detect this, then you cannot work with it. You can only be subject to it, unconsciously. So what I recommend is comparing and contrasting. You can do this if you start working with auto-suggestion and stuff like this more consciously. Instead of just picking the auto-suggestion, start using your felt sense to select the auto-suggestion that works for you. So you could go to a book of powerful auto-suggestions and read one that says, I go beyond your fears and limitations. I create my life. But maybe it doesn't work for you. I had an interesting experience with Paul McKenna's Instant Confidence audio a number of years ago. It's probably we'll be going back over 10 years, but it was an interesting experience nonetheless. I mentioned before fear, anxiety, they used to be big problems for me, and I'd done a lot of work and really attenuated a lot of that and was a lot more grounded. And I went to visit my mum, and she had bought Paul McKenna's Instant Confidence book and the Instant Confidence CD. I thought, wow. I said, can I borrow this? I thought, I'm feeling pretty good, but I could certainly, who couldn't use a little bit of extra confidence? And I went to bed in the evening and I put the CD on and I listened to it. And Paul was there and he did his whole thing, and now my voice will go with you as you relax. And the suggestion sequence started. Every time you walk into a room, you will feel confident now. And all of this. And he's going around confident, confident, confident. The suggestions repeated over and over again, confident. I drifted off to sleep. I woke up a nervous wreck the next morning. And I went in, I was studying osteopathy at the time. I went into the teaching clinic. I had an awful day. I was jittery, I was nervous, I couldn't think straight. It's like the clinicians are breathing down my neck, and then I got in the car and I drove home. I crashed my car on the A1 on the way home. It was a disaster. And I thought, what the hell happened? That's too much of a coincidence that I've listened to Paul McKenna's Instant Confidence and now I feel terrible. I don't think that's what Paul was intending. So fortunately, I had recently been beginning to learn about felt sense. So I checked in with myself with the word confidence. And the word confidence did not make me feel confident. In fact, the word confidence had a... Now, if I look in a dictionary at what confidence means, then surely it's a good thing. It can only be a good thing. But when I check with my felt sense, for whatever reason, like the guy who wanted to get his career back on track, confidence for me. And I realized I've got a theory. Probably the only time I'd used the word confidence in my life was when I was feeling at my most unconfident, thinking I just need some confidence. So the word confidence was anchored to this, ah. Do you see what I mean? And that's what was contained within it for me. Now here's the thing, if you don't pay attention to the felt sense impacts of words, of phrases, of autosuggestions, you can have an autosuggestion that logically, and if you check all the dictionary definitions, that should be empowering. But it's not. It's not working. So that's felt sense and utilising felt sense to upgrade your autosuggestions, why that's so important. Now I'm aware in this clip, we are not able, we haven't got the time in a short video clip like this to get into the sort of how to develop felt sense, how to develop your acuity for that. But that is part of the Self-Hypnosis Personal Alchemy program if that's something you're interested in pursuing. Aside from that, if you got something from this video, if something woke up, an idea, a spark, if there was some information in this that's been useful for you, please do give this video the thumbs up. If you are looking to get more rare knowledge on using your mind to shape your life, make sure you hit subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications bell. That's absolutely essential. If you don't, you won't get the videos. And make use of that comment section, because by doing so, this conversation can continue. So until we speak again, keep on using your mind to shape your life.